Hey, this is Bob Van Allen with your Monday Morning Minute, where we're bringing you every week tools, tips, information, inspiration, and motivation to help get you through the week here at Coldwell Banker Tomlinson Group. Well, happy spring to you. We're back to some normal spring weather today as opposed to what we had yesterday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about listing inventory and just kind of a mindset thing that's happening in the seller's market. So rewind the clock 8-10 years. Back to when it was a buyer's market or even in a more balanced market. And what we typically see is we get a listing at the kitchen table, and then the real challenge is getting it to the closing table, right? Getting it priced right, staged right, following up on showings, working with the seller to actually get an acceptable offer and getting that all the way to the closing table. And so our traditional thinking about the listing inventory is with that in mind, that basically our inventory is what we have listed active on the MLS. Those are sellers that we're currently working with. And that notion of our inventory is kind of based on that reality. Well, in a seller's market like what we have today, the real challenge is getting our sellers to the kitchen table, meaning getting the property listed, because once we get them there, then we know that more often than not, we're getting them to the closing table in this market. And so I want to challenge your thinking and your mindset that even if you feel like a listing inventory is less than what you're accustomed to, your listing inventory in today's market is really those sellers that are considering selling if you can solve a problem for them. So if you can find them a new home, if you can coach them through the short-term options that are available to them when they do sell their home, all those different scenarios. The real challenge today is in that mindset that a lot of people we're talking to, basically who do you know that you have talked to that is a seller prospectively and they're not yet listed. That is part of your listing pipeline. That is part of your listing inventory today, and it's very different than how it might be in a normal market or in a buyer's market. So I want you to think about that. And by the way, the exact inverse is true with our buyers. That 8 or 10 years ago, we'd love to have a buyer because they'd probably buy something. Today, we just need to make sure that the buyers we're working with are legit and committed to us. So anyway, we'll have more on that, but challenge your thinking on your listing inventory this week and into the spring. And be thinking about those sellers that are not yet listed. Just consider them part of your listing inventory and see if you can solve their problems for them. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.